I know that you were doing a scripted podcast called America 2.0.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit for the audience, what is that project exactly about? And how did you, what was that audition process like? How did you get that?
Well, this one was such a pleasure to work on because this one was written and directed by JS.
Oh, so he did it as well.
Yes, he wrote
Okay.
that, directed it. And so he put together a nice group of people. And
Let's name them. Laurence Fishburne, Patrick Adams from Suits.
yes, Laurence Fishburne, Patrick J. Adams,
Dana Bash as herself.
My friend Spencer Garrett. I mean,
Kate
it was
Moore.
a lot of fun. You know, it was a political show, but with all the news, with us being bombarded with so many political, you know, negativity and bad news, this one is a political scripted series that has, you know, that gives us hope, that has actually a positive outlook on how things could be, right? And so it was such a pleasure. It was so much fun being in the recording booth. And funny enough, I mean, have you had a chance to hear it, any of the episodes?
I watched the trailer, but that was it.
We just found out about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, I think you're gonna like it. The funny thing is that when you hear it, you'll realize, I mean, it almost sounds that we're all together, you know, that we recorded together, and we didn't. And the sound is just so seamless. And you hear it, and I heard the entire series, of course. I felt that all the voices like really took me there. So that's, of course, J.S. and his writing partner. They're phenomenal writers, and America 2.0 is just, you know, they were able to put that cast because the writing is that good.
Right. So that's not a show you'd want to ad lib on. That's all in the script.
Yeah, no, that one is definitely all in the script. And with JS, what I like about working with JS is that he's very collaborative. So he sits with his actors and he goes over the scene and he talks about it, but there's no ad-libbing unless it makes sense. But every single word that he writes, there is a reason for it, and you can sit with him and he'll explain to you, you know, why that is written there, and you know, that way, and why he wants it set like that, which is which almost makes your process as an actor easier, because he does go through everything, you know, step by step with you. So, but he is very collaborative. I mean, whatever you bring to the table, he sits with you and we discuss it, and then he just lets you do your thing.
Will there be? Yes, Johnny.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Will there be a sequel, America 3.0?
What
happened to America 1.0?
I hope so. Yeah, right. I hope so. I mean, it would be a lot of fun. I know that they are working to get it on TV. So that would be really, really amazing. Him and Spencer Garrett, I'm working on that. So, you know, fingers crossed. The funny story about this is that I wasn't in the recording booth. I wasn't in when Laurence Fishburne did his part. But then I ran into Laurence Fishburne at, what's the name of that plaza where they have the Crunch on Sunset and the AMC?
I know.
Oh, yeah, by the Sunset 5. The movie theaters there, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, there all the time.
So I ran into Laurence Fishburne
Going
there.
into the Crunch.
And walking to the elevator, and I'm like, Mr. Fishburne? He looked at me like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, it's so, you know, we talked about it. It's so nice to meet you.
And then the elevator closed and he was trapped.
Okay.
No, he's a gentleman. So actually we were talking outside of the elevator. We're talking about America 2.0, and the elevator door opened, and I was just going to let him, you know, go in the elevator. I was going to wait for the other one because I didn't want it to be, even though it was having like a fan moment, it was really about talking, you know, we were cast in America 2.0 together.
Yeah, for sure.
And as the elevator door opened, he walked to the elevator and he held the door open for me. I'm like, oh, right. I'm getting in the elevator. And so we were chit-chatting about the project, and that was a really cool moment to meet Morpheus.
Yeah, of course. Which pill did he give you? Just kidding. No, I was actually going to ask, you kind of mentioned this a second ago, that when you're recording like a show like that, you're in the recording booth alone, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know how to handle the scene or how to respond to another actor when you never actually hear their delivery?
On one of my scenes, I did have one of the actors there, and of course JS is right there with you, the director. He was right there with us. So before going in, he worked with the other actor and myself, and we worked on the scene, and we read the scene. We didn't, well, it's not reading, but we did the scene with JS there. And so that helps a lot because it gives you that, that comfort. But in one of the other scenes, the other actor that I was doing my line with, he wasn't there. And so I was so lucky that Spencer Garrett was there and he did the scene with me. And so when you get the opportunity to work with an actor like Spencer, it just, you just rise to the occasion because you're right there. Like Spencer just saying the line, it's like, oh my God, just saying the line, he's so good. And so it was really, really good to get to do that with him,
And what character do you play in this series?
Oh, I play Rita Torres. I play a Latina mom and a single Latina working mom.
Awesome.